All right, welcome back to the Straight Schmidt channel. This is the EQS 580. This is the big one. This is the one you want. This is the one that has the most power and the most of pretty much everything else. I think it's very beautiful. The front could use a little bit better styling. This to me is a little ridiculous, but that's where they had to put it, so that's where they put it. By the way, it's still available. If you're interested, just give us a call, 229-883-2040. It's such a great car. If you look at my previous video, you'll see what an amazing car that is, and the hidden storage, and just that it's awesome. But let's get back to this. So as with all Mercedes, you've got summer, winter opening. So it opens the windows and the sunroof to help ventilate the car. But because this is an electric car, you don't really need to do that, because you can program it to start up, or you can use your app to start it and let it cool off. So once you get in it in the summer, it's nice and cool. You hit the lock button and everything will close back up. Windows, sunroof, and the actual sunshade then will also close down inside the vehicle. So let's open it up. You hear that nice little sound. Let me see if I can get it to, yeah, I think that's cool. All right, so let's get inside. Oh, if you can't get in the car for some reason, you see that there's that little key, and in the key there will be a blade that slides out right there, and you pull this handle out, you put that in there, and that's how you can unlock the vehicle. So let's get inside and take a look. And of course, normally your start stop button's up here somewhere, but it's now down here. So let's bring it to life. You've got the 3 screens, the main center screen. You've got your in screen here, which is going to show you your cluster and your gauges and all that stuff. And I don't know if you can see it, but obviously you have right here, you have your 3D, and it projects out about 7 feet plus in front of you. It's hard to see on camera, but it's really interesting when you're sitting here, because it's literally, if you were sitting in traffic, it's the other car that's in front of you that's showing that. And then you have obviously this screen over here, which you can configure. You obviously have all your climate controls here. This has the optional filtration system, so it'll tell you your parts per million as far as what you're filtering and everything. Your beautiful wood trim that is concealing your cup holders. Now, the really interesting thing about these cup holders is that you do that and they conform to the cup. So let's say you have a big mug and you want to keep it that way, but if you don't, this little knurled piece right here, just push that and it'll conform. And you see how this little guy comes out to hold on to your cup. So it'll be secure, because when you do accelerate in this car, it is pretty brutal. It'll definitely throw you in your seat. You have a wireless charging pad up inside there. Obviously your USB-C ports here, and that is where you put your key. If the car says, hey, put your key there to get it to start. This is your center console. 2 more, hard to see, but 2 more USB-C ports there for charging. And this, so it's interesting. This is this beautiful Alcantara with this nice silver stitching right here. And then you go to here where it's this kind of like, I don't know, elephant hide, I guess. But it's just a little odd, little pet peeve of mine. It's not lined up. See that? That's not lined up, and that one's not lined up either. But I imagine it could be some sort of an adjustment to that. But you obviously, you have your radar cruise control here. You have your controls for your cluster, and as you swipe up on this little pad right here, it will change all of your views right here. And then over here, this changes what you want to see on here. So we can go into here. Obviously it's going to tell you where your charging stations are. So if you go here, it's going to tell you that these are the charging stations that are near you, and it'll show you on the map. So let's say we want to go to that charging station, and that is, I know, a level 3 charger, so it will charge this vehicle up in about a half an hour to full. And you can share it, you can route it, you can send this to another person. You go into your climate menu, you've got your entertainment volume. That's kind of cool, listen to that. It's almost like the entertainment volume is like farting or something. But the thing I like about this climate control is you can go to the second row seats and you can do their stuff with that. So let's try to turn this back on again. But I think we need to close the door, and then we go into climate menu. It's not haptic feedback, but you do need to give it a nice firm press. And so you can turn on the automatic climate control for the rear, and you can set the temperature. So we'll set it at 70 degrees. On both sides, this does have 4-zone climate control. The air quality, as you can see, the exterior is 2.5 parts per million right here. So we have good air quality. You have what it's telling you is happening here as far as what it's doing. It's reducing the microparticulates, nitrogen oxides, and any odors. Now this is what I was telling you before. You can pre-climatize the car. So if you get in the car and it's hot, you can go right to the app where you can set a departure time. So you can set a departure time. So let's say you get off work at 5:30, you can set it at 5:15, and it could be 100 degrees out. By the time you get in the car, it has brought itself to, let's say, 70 or whatever temperature that you want to set at. So let's set this climate control back to 70, and now we'll go back to the front row seats. You can see that we've got things all set up. We can sync the temperatures so they're the same both sides. You've got your rear defroster, your max blower in case you get fogged up on the windshield. You touch back and it takes you back to the main screen. So if you go back to EQ, there's a bunch of different things you can do here, but if you actually go to the home screen, there's your radio, your media, your info, your smartphone configuration. You go into settings, and so you can look at the settings for driver assistance. For vehicle, you can even have snow chain mode. So if you're in the mountains and you need snow chains, you can turn that on. It does adjust the suspension to allow for that, and then changes the way the vehicle accelerates as well. You've got your lighting here, you've got your dynamic low beam and projection when opening and closing, and support projections, so that's all on there. Certain digital lights will do different things for spotlight warnings and alerts on there. You can go into the system, and obviously it has that, so we don't want to say that or else it'll turn on. And it does have the online voice control, which is activated, and productivity, which is select voice assistant, so we don't want to do that right now. And the camera is there, and it wants to shut off since we haven't gone anywhere. See, it says not ready to drive. So let's just go into displays, and display on and off. Passenger display is on, central display is on, and we can go and adjust the display brightness. So we can do that, central display brightness, and the passenger display, we can make it brighter, or we can just leave it kind of in the middle, which I think is good for that. Now, the passenger front display, we can actually have it be several different things. So we can give it a compass, we can give it a really cool futuristic graphic like that, or like this. That is, I believe that's the clock, I think. But I think that's kind of cool. It tells you your elevation above sea level, or you can have it just have that, which kind of looks similar to what the grill looks like. But let's go with that. I like that one. And touch anywhere on the screen, it'll take you back. You can change your languages on here. You can do the different keyboards. You can control the different elements like the acoustic feedback, the haptic, and the touch control on there. And then you can go into the info. You can go to system information. It'll give you all that stuff, the legal stuff like that, and your operator's manual. So you can go in here and you can pull up your, basically your owner's manual, which would normally be in the glove box, but it can be here. And date and time, you can do that. Let's go back to operator's manual. And you can see you've got tips, you've got animations, so driver assistance, digital light, high beam assist. If we touch on that, it'll actually play this little video when it wants to come up. I think the car needs to be on again. All right, content available when in park. And maybe since this car has not been set up and configured yet, it might not work, but you get the gist of that. You've got messages, all these things that have happened. Obviously the car's sitting here and we're just playing around with it, so it's doing that. And you can have it in different languages. You can go to quick start and then you can go to search. And so you can type in what you're looking for. So let's say doors and hit OK. And it'll come up. Closing comfort doors, setting comfort doors. So if it has comfort access, it'll show you how to do that. So when you go to settings, vehicle comfort, switch doors on or off. So let's actually go back and do that. So let's go to there, go to settings, go to vehicle comfort, and seating position, occupant protection, belt adjustment on, open and close, acoustic lock, automatic mirror folding, vehicle protection. So it has a motion sensor on the interior. It'll take collision photos if something does happen, update collision photos, so you can save all that excellent stuff. And obviously we're back to that. So that's your assistance. And then we can go here and we can look at the car, which I think is actually really cool. It's obviously not the exact car. This is obviously black with different wheels, but you get the gist of that. I just think that's kind of neat. And then you just touch the screen, takes you right back. Again, this Alcantara just feels really nice. And look at the seats. That's really cool. They have that nice little pattern in them like that, and it gets progressive. It's kind of an interesting headrest design. But these seats, all seats in Mercedes, they have a orthopedic surgeon that helps design and set up their seats for them to make these the most comfortable and the most safe in the event of an accident. And then you have all your controls over here. So you have your EQ mode, your cameras, your vehicle settings, your this is for when you get into the car. You don't really need to start or do anything. This is your personal key, so it uses your fingerprint and it's biometrics, and you do that. You can see use fingerprint sensor, so you have to first activate it in your Me account. You have your volume controls right here, and then your ubiquitous hazard warning system right there. So let's shut the car off and let's get out. Obviously this has heated, ventilated seats, both front sides here, and let's go in the back. I do like that. That's a nice touch when it just says Mercedes on that. So let's go in the back. This one does have heated seats in the back, and it have your rear climate controls up here, little coat hook right here, nice reading lights right up here, and it's the button for that, and nice little ambient lighting strip right here. And here, almost a full pano roof, and then you have your climate controls back here, your seat mat pockets right there. Don't know how many times people use that, but your child seat anchors. If I was a kid, I would love to be in a car like this. You got one press, you can stick your phone in there, and you another press, you pull it out, and it has your cup holders in there, and they adjust to your liking for your cups. Put it back and put it back in here. Pretty much a flat floor. This actual little hump here is actually for the cooling of the batteries. That is what's inside there, but as you can see, there is plenty of room sitting in here. And the other nice thing is it's got these beautiful soft pillows, Alcantara pillows on there, so that's really nice. And I like the seat back. It gives this openness right here, so it just doesn't come straight up. So you get a good visual. Like if you're sitting back here, you can see both screens. And I love that little light feature, ambient feature right there. That's really awesome on that. And of course, I love this waterfall wood trim. That's really cool. And obviously the Burmeister speaker grills are a thing of beauty. And beauty is not necessarily what the front of this car is, but the back is pretty cool. So you open it up, you have your shade covering this area. So if you had stuff back here, groceries or Christmas gifts or something like that, and if you really wanted to hide something, you open this up and stick it in here. That's a pretty deep well. You can put a lot of stuff in there. There's a tiny little shelf right up here. And then obviously this right here is your towing eye hook if you ever need to have the car towed. And your other area of storage is this little net pocket here. And it's hard to see, but that goes really deep in there. And all the stuff that comes with the car in this little packet just goes neatly right into there. And pull that out to show you this cool thing. And this is your cleaning cloth right here, the stars on it. That cleans your screens up front because they are touch, so they are going to get dirty. And again, this is for, you're going to lock the whole car and shut it down, or you just want to close this down and not lock the whole car. So let's do that. We're not going to lock the whole car today. Your charging door, level 2 charging right here. So if you're at home and you want to charge it, this is your level 2 charger. You pull this open, that gives you your level 3. That is what they call your DC fast charger. So that is for that. That covers that back up. And as you can see, everybody says, oh, well, don't wash the car. You can't take it through a car wash, all that stuff. It's electric. Well, there's this beautiful, nice gasket on here. Completely seals it off. Obviously, this seals that as well, so no water can get in there. And if it does get in, it does have these 3 little drains, but you would never want to keep that open and spray it. Here's another neat little thing. This little barcode right here is for rescue workers. It's a rescue card. It'll show them in the event of a severe accident where to cut and what to do with the electrical system and how to get the roof off of this car if need be to extract you from the vehicle. So Mercedes has that, nobody else does, because they basically invented it. Now, passenger side, pretty much the same thing. We've seen the passenger screen, we've seen this elephant hide material, I guess, and the tweeter is pretty cool right here, although I'm not sure how much it does if it aims towards the glass and then actually bounces back off. I don't know, I don't know much about acoustics, but again, beautiful Alcantara right here. It's actually nice and soft. I don't know if you can see that, but this elephant hide and this beautiful wood. I love how that waterfall right down there. It's really, really slick. on there. Obviously, little EQS, and then you can see that tweeter right there. But this is it. This is your beautiful digital light. You can see where it says digital light right in there. It's just beautiful. And then they put the stars in there too. So a lot of attention to detail. Mercedes-Benz right there, obviously. A lot of attention to detail, but I wish this was something else, a little bit different maybe. And maybe in the future models they'll do that. Obviously, you can't open the hood, or can you? If you go to TFL Car, they can show you how to do that. But we here at the dealership say, please don't do that. Let us do that for you. And obviously you have these beautiful 21-inch wheels. This little aerodynamic trim ring on here does say AMG on it, as it does have the AMG package, but that definitely helps with brake cooling, but it also helps with aerodynamics, which this car is made for. It's the king of aerodynamics. Obviously, because you have a really slick body, you have this lip spoiler, which actually does quite a little bit when it comes to that. And then you also have obviously a completely flat floor. So if you were to talk about aerodynamics for a second, and you were to have vertical blinds in your house and you had them open and you blew between them, they would suck together. So two flat surfaces, air blowing between them, they will pull themselves together. Pretty much the same on the car. Let's see if we can get down here and see if we can see that. But yeah, you have a completely flat undercarriage. So obviously the faster you go, the ground is flat, the bottom of the car is flat, so it is going to suck itself down to the road and make everything smoother. So anyway, this is it. Let's take a look at this window sticker. 135,000. It pretty much has every single option on it, and it is available for sale. But look at the size of, let's go to the other side, but look at the size, look at the size of this heads-up display. That heads-up display is absolutely huge. And what I mean when I say that, look, I mean, overall the size is big, but the projection that this thing puts out is literally like, so if this is the front of the car and you're sitting there, this is the heads-up display, this is the front of the car. What it looks like is that heads-up display that you're looking at is out here actually. So it's not obtrusive, it's not in your face, it's out there, and it doesn't take up like right inside your line of sight, but it's right there, and it's huge. You cannot miss it, and it's super configurable. It's really, really awesome. So let's do this. Let's open it. This is obviously your washer fluid filler. I really wish they would have done something different with this. This is where they chose to put it. I'm kind of hoping in new models that they don't do that, that they do something different. I mean, obviously BMW put it here where you just press it, it opens up, and it doesn't have this weird little thing because there's not another one on the other side, so it looks a little odd. So if you have ADD, that's gonna freak you out. Anyway, you're gonna lock it up, mirrors close, makes that little closing sound. It's got that nice little chrome strip on the bottom. And I just think the back of this car, the 3/4 view, that all looks good. I'm not a super big fan of the front of the car, but you know, you're not staring at the car, you're driving the car. And I can tell you from personal experience driving this thing, it's quiet, it's quick, it's smooth, it's just a dream to drive. It's just a beautiful, beautiful car. When you're inside and you're driving, you're just surrounded in that luxury. There's no other car in the market that's like this. The Lucid Air is fantastic. However, I hate to keep harping on this like I did with BMW, but Mercedes and BMW have large dealer networks. Lucid and Tesla do not, nor does Rivian. They send a guy out in a van, and if he can fix it, he can fix it. If not, then you know, we'll have to figure that out, and then you have to get your car towed, and you won't get a loaner, and you know, all that there. So anyway, thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe to this video. And again, this video is going live right now and or in just a few minutes. But remember, this is for sale. You can call us 229-883-2040. And don't forget, this one is still available as well. We've got that car's going out today. That car's going out on Monday. And yeah, it's a great time. And this is such a beautiful car. But again, thank you so much. Like and subscribe to this video. Thanks so much, and cheers.